Got a lot to discuss in today's video, but wanted to give you guys a quick reminder. The 2024 preseason schedule has been finalized for the New Orleans Saints, and here are the dates, the times, and the opponents for the black and gold. And I wanted to give you the friendly reminder to subscribe to the channel because we're going to be live for all 3 of the preseason games, all of the regular season matchups, and hopefully throughout the playoffs. So subscribe for that reason. And if you want to get another just reason to subscribe, Falcons Today is gaining on us in our May subscriber battle. So help us out. Let's punish the Falcons, bury our baby brothers, and get on top of the NFC South in the walls of Chat Sports and on the field as well. You'll get daily Saints videos, news, rumors, all sorts of fun content like the one you're about to see in today's video, where it's going to be very opinionated and a lot of fun stuff. So I wanted to start off today's video just by kind of setting the scene here. I think that the New Orleans Saints cornerback room is in a really, really good position. I think that they have a lot of quality depth and a lot of players that could be starters today, starting right now. So I want to start off with talking about Marshon Lattimore. There is no question about it. It is no mystery. We all know about the player. Lattimore is a top-tier cornerback whenever he is healthy. However, over the past 2 seasons, he has missed 17 total games due to injury. So I think it is worth noting that maybe you have to have some quality depth because there's the risk of Marshon Lattimore possibly missing some more time due to injury. However, when he's on the field, there's no question about it. He lives up to the nickname of Lockdown Lattimore. Now, Paulson Adebo, I think, is severely underrated. I don't think he gets enough flowers. I don't think he gets enough praise for all of the quality football that he puts out week in and week out. And on top of that, I think that not only us as Saints fans, we should be giving him a little bit more love, but the national media and the narrative around the Saints should be giving Paulson Adebo more love as well. He is really, really good. He filled in really well when Marshon Lattimore was not available. He stepped up to the plate and handled the challenge really, really well as the starting cornerback. And I'm just going to say it, I'm super stoked to see what he does this year in a contract season. And I will also add with Kool-Aid McKinstry, I think the future is very, very bright. This is a player that has a lot of talent. Nick Saban, who is one of the best football minds out there, spoke very highly about this player and, really praised his football IQ and how smart he is between the helmet. And I think that that's a really good quality for a Saints player. And on top of that, he has the swagger, he has the confidence, and he plays with a lot of moxie. But I want to talk about Alontae Taylor because there's been a lot of discussion about the 3 guys that we just discussed. I think that there's the question of, is he the odd man out? And I'm going to go into a really, deep dive thoughts and analysis on Alontae Taylor in today's video. But I wanted to ask you guys this question. Based on the cornerbacks that we just discussed, the 4 top CBs, and of course, there's a lot of other really good players on the depth chart as well, rank the Saints cornerback room across the NFL. Scale it 1 to 32. Obviously, there's 32 teams. But here at Chat Sports, we like to do a lot of audience interaction. So if this is your first time watching one of our videos, get into the comment section, share your thoughts, and I'll be more than happy to respond and, chop it up with you in the comment section. Now, coming up in this video, I'm going to take a deep dive into why I believe Alontae Taylor is a lot better than not only what fans give him credit for, but what the national media and the national narrative is. I think that he is a really, really good player with a lot of high upside. And on top of that, I think that there is really good reasoning behind the struggles that we saw from him last season. But I got to give a big-time shout-out to today's presenting sponsor, and that is Chubby's Shorts. I mean, look how fresh that shirt is. They don't just have shirts. They have swimsuits. They have pants. They have shorts. They got everything you need. And the sky's out because it's the summertime, baby. That means it is time to whip out the thighs, too. So Chubby's Shorts makes clothes that make every moment feel like a vacation. Some people rock tuxedo t-shirts to show that they like to party, but for me, I rock my Chubby Shorts, swimsuits, and shirts by the pool when I'm at the bar or when I'm just kicking it back with the homies. So crack open a cold one and make any day feel like a Saturday when you use our code CHAT, that's code CHAT, to get 20% off when you visit chubbyshorts.com. Now, I'm a dude who's got tree trunks for thighs and a really, really nice dad bod build, but Chubby's is the perfect match to, fit my unique style and body type. With the variety of high-quality everyday men's apparel, you can pick from the most comfortable shorts you'll wear all summer to swim trunks, pants, polos, and even button-down shirts that'll have your grandma praising how well you clean up and your girlfriend wanting to get down. So embrace the spirit of endless summer with Chubbies, the ultimate destination for bold, vibrant, and outrageously comfortable clothing. For a limited time, Chubbies is giving our listeners here at Saints Now by Chat Sports 20% off when you use our exclusive code. That's CHAT. Code CHAT at chubbiesshorts.com. The link is in the comment section and description of this video. Let the weekend begin. Get yourself some Chubby shorts. I mean, I'm not even kidding. I've been rocking this gear since I was back in high school. Even in my college days, I would wear this stuff to Darties. I'd wear it going to the bars. I'd rock this stuff. Even going to baseball games. I had this pair of American flag shorts. I even have a pair of American flag swimsuit. I am so excited to rock that this weekend and on top of that throughout the summer. So if you want to be like me and you want to look fresh this summer, use the link down below. So I found an interesting article out there about the top 13 top press corners in the NFL. And I kind of wanted to hone in on the top 10 here because, in my opinion, the top 10 is most important. And quite frankly, I didn't want to build the extra graphic. Call me lazy, but I think the top 10 is more important than the extra 3 guys. So Sneed is the number 1 cornerback at a press corner option. He played with the Kansas City Chiefs last year, and he is now with the Tennessee Titans. A.J. Terrell at number 2, Martin Emerson at number 3, Pat Surtain at 4, Sauce Gardner at 5. But you move over to the right side of the screen, and you see what's rocking there at number 7. Yeah, that's our boy number 1, Alontae Taylor. And I just got to say this, finally, Alontae Taylor is finally getting some recognition and getting some love on more than just a level from us Saints fans. And I think that that's a really, really good thing. And I wanted to kick it over to Doug Farrar, who discussed him in his article from Touchdown Wire. So last season, Alontae Taylor was in press coverage 150 of his 976 snaps, and he allowed 12 catches on 27 press targets for 5.4 yards per play, 3 explosive plays, and no touchdowns and 1 interception. So kicking it to the PFF stats, PFF logged him for 950. Obviously, the article we just showed you had him for a handful of more snaps, but overall, the PFF grades weren't really anything to go run home about, and I do understand. There was a lot of times where we saw some struggles, and there was a lot of times where Alontae Taylor was picked on in the slot position. However, I do think that there is a lot of really good things with Alontae Taylor, and I think that Doug Farrar here makes a really, really good point. Taylor did his thing against a lot of the top receivers last year, and he was especially effective against Green Bay's Romeo Doubs, who had the stat line from hell when Taylor was in his face and matching him through routes. Now, I just want to kind of, take a trip down memory lane for what Alontae Taylor did in that Week 3 matchup against the Packers. 5 tackles, 1 sack, 2 tackles for a loss, and 5 pass breakups. I mean, he was absolutely stellar. He was bringing pressures all over the field. It really felt like any time that there was a play being made, he was the one locking it down. And if you remember, Marshon Lattimore was not available for that game, so he was opposite of Paulson Adebo. And Dennis Allen, before that game, was saying, we're not really worried about it. We got faith in Alontae Taylor. And he showed up and showed out when he played on the outside as well as when he played a little bit on the inside, and especially in press coverage as well. So coming up, I also just kind of want to discuss this. There's no doubt that Alontae Taylor struggled at times, but his bounce back was tremendous. And coming up here, I'm going to show you the reason why I believe the bounce back was tremendous. I mean, there was multiple times this season that he was benched due to poor performance at the slot position. So let's look at this timeline from the end of the season. Now, in Week 16 against the Los Angeles Rams, he was picked on a lot by Matthew Stafford, and he was benched after some really bad play in the slot position. But then in Week 17, he goes back into the slot and gets an interception against the Buccaneers in a really timely part of the game. And on top of that, it was a really nice play where he stayed with his receiver step for step, adjusted his body really well, and came down with the play, put himself in front of the ball to make the play. It was really, really nice adjustment and a really nice bounce back, in my opinion. But then in Week 18, he was actually benched again in the slot, and Ugo Amadi took over. But whenever they kicked him outside, he said, you know what, I'm still a damn good player. I'm going to take Desmond Ridder's lunch money, and Ridder threw it to him right between the numbers. So I think that Alontae Taylor is a player who has a lot of, bounce back ability, if that makes any sense. I think that he's capable of having that short memory and turning a mistake into multiple good plays to make up for it. So I want to ask you this question. Predict it for me, Who Dat Nation. How many interceptions will number one have in 2024? He's had 2 in his career, and they came in the last 2 weeks of the regular season against NFC South rivals. So I think that he's going to get more than 2. I think he could actually get 3 this season, but I want to hear what you guys have to say because we all know Saints fans know ball. And I kind of wanted to just share these thoughts and kind of go on a little bit of a ramble here. So too much defensive back depth is actually a really, really good problem. And I think Dennis Allen has set himself up in a really good position to not only have high top-end talent, but also have quality depth behind that top-end talent that can take over at any point in time, whether it's injury, whether it's I just need a sip of water, I need to tie my shoe, or my helmet, something's messed up with that, got to get the equipment manager on it. Like, I think that this is a really, really good problem for the New Orleans Saints to have when I'm talking about not only Marshon Lattimore and Paulson Adebo, Alontae Taylor, Kool-Aid McKinstry, but then you also have Shamar Jean-Charles, Fionn Hicks. You have a lot of really good. Rajon Wright as well as a player. Will Harris, Ugo Amadi all can play at the cornerback position and in the nickel as well. So Dennis Allen, he actually spoke about the nickel corner position recently after practice, and he said that it's vitally important. He looks at the nickel cornerback as a starter. We probably play about 70% of our snaps in some sort of sub-defense. So I look at that guy as a starter. I would say there was a lot of encouraging things with Alontae Taylor in there last season, yet there was some things that weren't as good as they needed to be. Now, I think that the flight crew is going to be really productive this season, and I think you could honestly take any of these guys, any combination of the two, and have them be your outside cornerbacks. I also think that Kool-Aid McKinstry is a player who could challenge Alontae Taylor at that safety position, and whoever loses that, maybe they are the slot position or they kind of default back to safety, and we see what happens there. But I do want to hone in on the fact that Kool-Aid McKinstry is in a really good position to develop and turn into a nice player. We know what Marshon Lattimore can be. Paulson Adebo's in a contract season, so hopefully he can pop off. And Alontae Taylor is also a player who is coming into year 2 of basically playing as a slot corner. Last year, he didn't get the opportunity to really hone in the skills and learn the position because it's very different than being on the outside. And I think Dennis Allen did a good job of explaining that. And he said, let's not forget that Alontae Taylor is a second-year player. This, obviously last year was the second year. And it's his first year playing inside in the slot. Again, this is talking about last season. There's some learning that goes with, or that goes along with that. I think he will be much better and much further along. He's getting that work now in the spring as opposed to the limited work he got in training camp last year. And I love that from Dennis Allen because not only does he recognize that, hey, Alontae Taylor is still a talented player, he just needs to have the opportunity to hone in and learn the skills, and there are going to be some bumps in the road. He's a young player, and like I mentioned a second ago, it's not the same playing in the slot as it is on the outside. When you're playing outside, you can use the sideline to your advantage and take away an entire portion of the field. But when you're playing in the middle, you have 360 degrees that you have to cover at all times. So I think that for that reason, this is going to lead up to some really, really fun battles at OTAs and at training camp, at mini camp, at all of that fun stuff. And on top of that, this is why I think that this team is underrated and why I think that this cornerback room is underrated. They have so many good players. They have so much depth. And on top of that, they have players that can be versatile and fill in at multiple different positions. And I think that the national media narrative around the Saints defense is they're always pretty solid. They're always pretty good. But I want to give my flowers and give my kudos to the Saints cornerback room specifically because I truly do believe that's the best unit on the Saints roster. And I think that it's one of the top units in the league. So go back to school for me, Saints fans. Grade the first 2 years of Alontae Taylor. Give me an A, B, C, D, or F in the comment section. I'm probably going to rock with a B-, maybe a C+ somewhere in there. I think there's been a lot of really good stuff, but like Dennis Allen said, I think there's a lot that he can improve on and hone in some of those skills. But guys, thank you so much for tuning into today's video. If you want more coverage in between these on-demand videos that we have here on YouTube, give me a follow on Instagram, TraceGirouard48_, or you can hit me up on X, formerly known as Twitter, at TraceGirouard48. The link is in the comment section, a description of this video. So if you want to hit me up, give me a DM, let me know that you made it from this video. But y'all stay golden. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you next time.